Well, y'all, it's deer season 2026. It's March, just beginning of March. Um, been a couple months since the finish of year 2025 deer season. Deer season pretty good. Killed killed 4 deer total. Killed 2 does and 2 bucks. Um, One of the does I killed was a piebald, which was pretty crazy. Actually, I killed right over there in this spot over here. Which right now what I'm doing is trying to put some corn out. It's been about a couple weeks since last I put any corn out here. But I said let's just put some buck rack feed. This is the roasted soybeans and roasted corn with some regular corn, well, some roasted corn. But this is the bag. And like I said, I just put some new batteries, well, a new battery pack in the camera. And now we got to go get the other spots situated and see what happens. Because like I said, it's been quiet. Well, of course, because like I said, they've been without corn for a couple weeks now. Like I said, I try not to go too hard at the beginning of the year. Kind of give myself a break money wise. I mean, of course, everybody knows we be a little tight right now, but anyway, so the 2 bucks I killed, one was a 6 point, almost 7 point, kind of a, like I said, he could have went another year, but at that time when I was sitting there, didn't really have nothing going on, and he just come up out of nowhere, and all I seen was a good rack, and I said, okay, took a shot, killed him, didn't go too far, and I said, lucky enough, it wasn't too bad of a buck. Like I said, decent. And then the other buck I killed was an 8 point. It was the first excuse me, first buck I killed this year, or last year, and about to come up to the spot where I killed him, which was the craziest thing is because I called him in on my buck call, first time ever doing that, and he just popped up out of the woods and I killed him. He was a decent 8 point, but nothing like a couple years ago with Hightower, which we had a couple good bucks, really good bucks, that I was after, but they stayed out at night or they were completely away. It's crazy because I thought one of the neighbors killed one of them, but it turns out it was not the same buck, but he was pretty daggone close to it. He was, I called him Hercules, the one that I thought was, because he was a perfect 8 point. I mean, real tall, real wide, just like perfect. Then I had a new one come up. Lucky enough, I didn't get to kill him, or nobody else around here got to kill him. I called him Medusa because he had a funky little antler going on. His was like, he had one that was like straight sideways, just like that. But he lived throughout this year, which is a good thing because he, like I said, he could have went. He can go another year. So hopefully, like I said, when he comes back, hopefully he comes back this year, don't get killed by anything else. That he'll be even better. He was a 9 point. Nice, like I said, a nice 9 point. It would have been one to kill, but it like I said, the last year turned out pretty good. Even my buddy Trail, he killed, which he didn't kill nothing over here. He killed in some of his personal spots. He killed 2 really good bucks. But we I thin the herd out here with the does. I was trying to get my dad on, trying to get him on some, but he wasn't able to get any that, like, he had a doe come out. He had a couple does come out on him, but there was some where he couldn't get a good shot on them. But we're hoping this year, like I said, we're going to try again this year, get him, because it's the first time he hunted in over 30 years. And that's another story within that. And I'll tell if Dad gets pretty lucky this year, but I'm working on it right now, trying to get these spots going, keep them going good, and then we're gonna work on. I want to try to find. I have another place in mind, but I haven't been able to go and try to find the person who owns it and see if they will let me be able to hunt on it. But I'm working on that. Problem is just too busy to try to get around and start knocking on doors. But one problem that I know me and Trails run into a lot of problems with here is a lot of people are not willing to let other people hunt on their land, which, I mean, is understandable. You got some bad people that have messed some things up on other people's property, so we got to respect that. You can't get mad at them, but lucky enough, like I said, I do have a spot here, but we're gonna hope for the best this year, because like I said, it's my main goal is always managing the herd, keeping it nice, because we've had, like I said, we had a couple good bucks the past couple years. Big Al was still out there. I hadn't seen him. He showed up at the beginning of the deer season, and I couldn't. He wasn't on any of my cameras. He was off and on for a while. And then you had, of course, Hercules was another one. He was pretty regular around here, but like I said, he just kept showing up at night. So he's traveling around somewhere nearby, but just can't pinpoint him to here at the exact moment where you need him to be. But and then, like I said, of course, Medusa's a new one. Hoping that he would show up. Like I said, showing up real nice and show up even better than what he was last year. But we'll see. And this year, like I said, I'm gonna make sure to get some footage of the hunts, because I tried with some of the stuff that I bought and just didn't have the right equipment. But I'm gonna be able to get some stuff to do a whole. Now I know exactly what I need to be able to do it. And like I said, once I get it, like I said, we'll be able to have a little bit better footage out here. But like I said, mostly this is just for me to kind of look back on, kind of like a journal. But hopefully, yeah, you never know, could get big out there. But yeah, that's a small chance. But can't be like Seek One and everybody else that's out there is making it on YouTube. So, but we're gonna do our best. Like I said, I thank the Lord for blessing me last year. Sorry, just getting over the sickness and a cold. But we're like I said, I'm extremely blessed. And this, like I said, I was so grateful for to be able to actually hunt with my dad last year. I never had the opportunity to, because like I said, Dad didn't. Once I was born, he never went hunting. And like I said, I'll go more into that story later on. But my dad. It's funny. I had him come out here and help me pick up some of the deer that I've killed. And he's like, man, if I have to keep helping him come pick it up, I'm going to start knocking some down. So we're like, okay. And so me and my brother-in-law were trying to get him on one. But like I said, things happen for a reason. But like I said, it ain't, a lot of times you can't get some on your first try. A lot of times anyway, it's the hunt. I mean, it's not killing, it's hunting. So we're gonna try to set him up on one this year and get him going. But like I said, it's been all right. So we're hoping. Like I said, my freezer was full, and still eating on it. So and that's the best part about it, is to be able to enjoy what you killed and be able to eat from it. So to live off of it, that kind of thing, rather than having to go and get some meat and from grocery stores and all that, where I was able to provide for my own if something was to happen where I needed it. So but like I said, I gotta hurry up, let's get this thing out because it's getting dark. And like I said, this is the process. This is the fun part. It's funny, my wife was joking with Trail, talking about it ain't hunting season yet, and both me and him's like, well, technically hunting season's 365 days, because you got the actual hunting season, and then after that, once January 1st is over with, it's time to prepare for the next season. So, but like I said, we're gonna work on it. Lucky enough, it shouldn't be too much to kind of, because everything's pretty much set. All we gotta do I just gotta put the corn out, change the batteries in the cameras, and keep an eye on it. And like I said, right now most of the bucks have lost their antlers, so you ain't gonna be able to really tell if it's a buck or it's a doe. I mean, you can probably tell by body size, but like I said, that's not really the biggest thing right now. It's just making sure that you keep inventory, kind of just keep your deer nearby. And that's the whole purpose of feeding year round, is getting the deer used to having food somewhere in your area that you're hunting, trying to draw them off of anywhere else that's around you, so you can kind of keep them home. So, but like I said, this year, like I said, still trying to manage a herd, because I try to do like where I seen a guy on a biologist on YouTube, where you try to do, I think he said like maybe 3 to 5 does to 1 buck off your land. I guess it depends on how big your area is. I know I try to get 3 to the well, I should have gotten about more than just the 2 that I had, but like I said, every time, once I killed my last buck, because by that time it was getting close to Thanksgiving, and it's like Thanksgiving over here, the sightings of the deer during the daytime, and and then of course once the season was over with, they're gonna walk right out during the daytime. So, but that's, like I said, the deer are smart. They know what they're doing. They know when they feel the pressure, and so that's why you got to be smarter than them. And like the dude I seen on YouTube, he talks about, you got to think like a deer, not think like a human, because they don't think like us. So they're survivors. They're trying to make it. So, but anyway, we're gonna close it out for this one, and I'll catch you back on the next one as we continue on throughout the year, showing the process from beginning to the end of the deer season. So thank y'all.